Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Laura and I am an agile productivity coach. I help ambitious career professionals with a full-time job and a side hustle actually build systems like a highly performing agile team. So a couple of weeks ago, I did put out a video or a tutorial about my Energy First Daily Planner. And this is simply a planner that is going to help you figure out your energy patterns so you can effectively plan your days and eventually plan your weeks and even your months, right? The goal here is to ensure that as you are planning, you're not just planning based on what you think your life is going to look like, but you're really planning based on your energy, your real energy, and your real life, your real capacity. Right? So I did a Notion version of the tutorial, and now I'm going to do the tutorial and run you through the Canva version of this planner. So you're going to have the Notion version and the Canva version. And if I'm being honest, the Canva version is a little bit more sophisticated or a little easier to use depending on the user. But it is very, very simple. All you need to do is just plug and play, put in your energy, and it's actually going to determine your best days to work on certain tasks. So if you haven't already grabbed your copy, make sure you go down to the description box and grab your own copy. And I promise you, once you use this planner for at least 2 to 4 weeks, you are going to understand your energy, understand your body, understand your life better, so you can plan effectively and never ever feel like you're falling behind again. So let's get in. Once you get your own copy, you are going to simply click the link to the Canva template. And once you do that, you're going to get to this page here where I'm basically sharing this template with you. And all you need to do is click edit, and it is going to be downloaded in your own Canva dashboard. So if you already have Canva, all you need to do is just edit, and you're going to have it in your own Canva dashboard or your Canva account. However, if you do not have Canva, then you need to create a Canva account, and you will be able to make edits to this template. So we are going to start right here. So this is basically the template for the planner. This is the Canva template, right? So the first thing you want to do is start here, the date. What date are you planning for? So we are planning for May 18th. May 18th, that is a Monday. So we are going to assume that our energy forecast for Monday is high, right? So you just click high here. If you assume that your energy is going to be medium, you click medium. If it's low, you're going to click low. So here we're just going to do high, right? So this is basically you assuming that your energy for tomorrow is going to be high. Then you are going to write what is your scripture for tomorrow, or what is your word for tomorrow, right? You can simply write grace. Maybe you know that you have a very tough project coming on, or you have a very tough meeting tomorrow and you're like, okay, I'm just going to have grace for everybody. I'm going to have grace on myself tomorrow. So my word for tomorrow is grace. You can have a scripture. You can have a whole affirmation. That just depends on you. Now, what is your one thing for tomorrow? What is the one thing that, regardless of everything, the number one priority? You can have 3 different things. I always encourage you to have 3 different top priorities for the 3 different areas in your life. But even in those 3, what is your number one priority? Because even those 3 need to be prioritized, right? So what is your one thing? It might be to get through this report or the meeting that you are working on, to ensure that everyone is on the same page, or there is a really great outcome from that meeting, whatever that looks like for you. Or you can say to complete a slide deck for presentation, right? That is your one thing for tomorrow. So regardless of whatever you do tomorrow, this one thing needs to be completed. So now we're going to go to the different energy zones here, where you're going to plan your task by energy zone. And you have high energy, you have medium energy, you have low energy. Now we're going to assume that your high energy is in the mornings. So it is in the morning where you are going to do your most important task, which is basically completing this slide deck right here. So we're going to say you will complete slide deck, right? And then you might have different secondary priority tasks that you need to also get done during this high energy period, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe complete or start team metrics report, right? Or you can say start, or you can say do sprint. I always, whenever I'm thinking about work and tasks, I always default to what I do. With my own job, what I do with my teams and everything. So you're going to hear say team metrics report. This is basically the reports that I do for my teams. So maybe your next priority is do your team metrics report or whatever that is. or it can be a sprint plan, whatever that looks like for you. And again, this depends on your life, right? So I'm just assuming that tomorrow, which is Monday, is a work day. So my high energy definitely is going to go to my 9 to 5 job, right? So this is the most important thing that I need to get done tomorrow during my high energy period. Now, yeah, you have your medium energy periods. Now, this is in the afternoon, maybe break time, right? What are the kind of things that you're going to be doing during this time? Maybe meetings on a release plan, right? This can be something that you're doing. And then maybe backlog refinement meeting. It can also be one-on-ones with team. That can be what you are doing during your low energy period tomorrow, right? And then, oh, sorry, not your low energy period, your medium energy period tomorrow. So this is in the afternoon or whenever that looks like for you. So let's talk about the low energy tasks, right? During your low energy period, and this is probably towards the end of work, you're done. You don't even want to talk to anybody. You don't want any kind of hard tasks to come to you. Sometimes you cannot really avoid it if you are working a full-time job, and depending on the nature of your work, you cannot avoid this. But we're going to assume that your low energy period is just you kind of winding down towards the end of work, right? And this is where you're basically planning, going through your task. You're going through emails, you are reviewing your to-dos and planning for tomorrow, what you're going to focus on tomorrow, right? And another thing can be if you're setting up meetings, the meetings that you need to set up, you can do them during this time, right? Maybe setting up meetings, right? This is the time that you're going to actually do that. All right. Note this area right here is mainly for your full-time job, right? For me, this is what I'm going to use this time for. Let's say Monday, I'm going to use this whole block right here for my full-time job simply because this is the time that I work, right? I work 9 to 5. So this is going to be for my full-time job right here. I do have the block for my side hustle. So depending on the nature of your work, you can make this your own, right? If you work somewhere part-time, your job is not really full-time, it's part-time, then this does not really apply a lot to you. You can easily use this as your side hustle block. Again, this all just depends on how your life is. It depends on the nature of your work, right? Now, also, if you are at a place right now where, let's say, you're laid off and you're still looking for a job, you can use this as your planner, right? This will become your side hustle blocks, like your side hustle planning, right? So once you wake up in the morning, you can use this high energy maybe to apply for jobs, right? And then medium to do some of your work towards your side hustle, and then low to maybe rest, read, whatever. So that depends on you. This is really for people who do have a 9 to 5 job and a side hustle so they can plan effectively, but it works regardless of what changes in your life throughout this journey. There are some people who are laid off, right? And there are some people who are getting into starting a new job and all of that great stuff. So you can use this as needed. This is just for you to maintain, to like plan before you get to work the next day, and to really understand what is the number one thing, what are the things that you really need to focus on at work, to prioritize those tasks and ensure that you are using your energy wisely. You are working on the hardest tasks in your high energy window and leaving the not so hard tasks and kind of like the admin tasks in your low energy window. Right. Now let's go to your side hustle block. Here, when do you work on your side hustle? Oh, before we go there, let's do this, right? So this here, you're going to feel this the next day. So here is the amazing thing about this planner. What you're going to do is tomorrow, when you are planning for the next day, you're going to come here and basically just see if did you complete all of these tasks. Yes, you completed them. If you didn't complete it, maybe you guys skipped this meeting for some reason, and then you went through the emails, you did all of this, right? So you're going to check all of this to show that, yes, I did complete all of these tasks. Now, what you're going to do tomorrow, like it says, actual energy, you're going to feel this tomorrow. Did you actually have high energy during this time? Yes, you did. You're going to put yes. So this is your medium energy zone in the afternoon. What was your energy? Was it low? Was it high? Let's say it was high. What shifted? Morning tasks took more than anticipated, right? So your energy here was low, and then this one was equally low, right? Like maybe something came up at work, there was some emergency, probably there was a blocker that you guys really needed to resolve, and it was all hands on deck, and it was just a crazy morning. Because of that, your energy in the afternoon was kind of low. Your energy in the evening was also low, even though you were still able to get this task done, but it was low. What shifted? Nothing. You can just say nothing. You do assume or you anticipate that it will be low during this period, but here you thought you're going to have medium energy, but you really had low energy. So now this is what you're going to fill out tomorrow, right? It says actual energy fill tomorrow. So tomorrow when you're planning for the next day, Tuesday, you're going to fill this out. All right. So side hustle block. Now, since Mondays is usually very hectic, you could decide that you do not work on your side hustle on Monday. Or if you are someone who still works on your side hustle every single day, we want to reduce burnout. This plan is going to help you better understand when you should actually work on your side hustle, right? So let's assume that you do work on your side hustle on Monday. We're going to say you work on your side hustle 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right? And here you do expect your energy to be medium. You always expect your energy to be medium within the week because you go to work, your work is a little bit hectic. So you always expect it to be medium low, right? Not really high energy, but medium low. So what are you going to do during this time? Maybe you're going to outline or research YouTube topics, right? Topics for your YouTube video. This is what you are going to do during this period. Now, this is what you're planning for tomorrow. However, once you come tomorrow and you want to check off these tasks to see if you actually got all of this stuff done, you are going to come right here and you're going to fill it out. What was your actual energy during this period? Was it medium? Was it low? Was it high? And we're going to assume that yes, it was actually medium. Or if it wasn't medium, maybe it was low and this low energy just continued throughout the day. So let's assume actually that it was low, right? And it says, did you stick to the block? What helped or hurt? You can say, yes, I stuck to this block, but I did 30 minutes instead of the full 2 hours. So this is actually what happened. And then this here, you're going to reflect on today, right? What are you grateful for today? I'm grateful for waking up on time, grateful for completing my tasks, grateful for my family's wholeness, right? So this is what you can be grateful for. And I do advise that you have at least 3 things that you're grateful for. Please, 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 you can add more and keep going, but at least 3 things that you are grateful for. The next thing here is what we call the contentment check, right? What's today's peace level? Are you at peace? Are you distraught? Are you full of anxiety? Are you sad? Like, what is going on? Our goal is always to be at a peace level of 5. 4, that's okay, but we always strive for that place where we are completely at peace, completely aligned, right, with what we're doing, with our life, with even in a situation that is not the best, but we're still at peace, we're still aligned, and we are still positive and finding things in that situation to be grateful for. So what is your peace level? We're going to say peace level is 5, right? And then you're just going to go here, today's wind down, and we're setting up for tomorrow, right? What is one win for today? Maybe you can say, got my laundry, let's say laundry done. Maybe you have been procrastinating this, you actually got it done. So what I'm really saying tonight, no stress, regardless of whatever situation you're going through, no stress. Let's say you were laid off, you're gonna say no stress, focusing on staying positive, right? What is mine is mine. And what's tomorrow's one thing? Make sure that you go back here. You can either confirm this or you can simply change it if you decide that maybe that's not my one thing. You can change it here if you want. So it says confirm or adjust. So you can simply write the same thing, complete slide deck for presentation. So this is basically how you are going to plan your day. It's very simple, and this helps you focus on what is important. Oh, before I forget, this one, it says contentment check to this peace level. Am I content at this stage? Yes, right? If not, you can write no. If there's anything you want to add there, you can go ahead and add. But again, this is just how you complete this. Very easy, very straight to the point. This is going to take you about 15 minutes to complete. Now, once you do this, if you come to this log right here, energy log right here. So this right here, this one says actual energy by time of day. Once you write all of this, what you're going to do, since you are planning for tomorrow, you're going to come right here and you are going to write your actual energy. So for example, let's say your actual energy here was high, actual energy was low that you've already filled out, right? So you're going to go there and fill high, low, low for tomorrow. This is what you're going to do Monday. So Monday morning is high, midday, medium. That you double click. The first one is high, right? If you double click, it's going to go to medium. If you click again, it's going to go to low. If you click it again, it's just going to cancel. So the first click says high since we had high energy in the morning. Midday, we had low energy. Afternoon, we had low energy, right? And then the evening, we equally did have like low energy in the evening because the whole day was just crazy. So this is basically how you're going to fill this in. On Tuesday, you're going to come back here. What was your actual energy? You're actually just going to fill in your actual energy in the morning, midday, afternoon, or evening. But this is like basically your side hustle period. So you did work on your side hustle on Monday. Let's assume you worked on your side hustle too on Wednesday, and this was basically high for you. It really doesn't matter whether you worked on your side hustle or not. This is just for you to feel out your energy throughout the week. How do you feel during this period of the day, right? So it is going to determine what your energy is. It's going to help determine what are the best days for you to work on your side hustle. What are the best days for you to rest, right? So basically, this is what we're going to do right here. Tuesday was really a good day. You had high energy. Here you had medium. Here you had high. Sorry, that's Wednesday. Tuesday, high. Midday, medium. Low, low. And then it looks like Wednesday is pretty much great day for you. There's not a lot going on in the office. So probably you're already going to see a pattern here that Wednesday kind of looks like a great day for you to even work on your side hustle. And let's go to Thursday. Unfortunately, this week, Thursday, you started with low energy for whatever reason. Maybe your energy throughout this day was low, and you probably took off this day. This is just an example. And then Friday, you started Friday with medium energy, and then medium, low. And then Saturday, you were kind of back on track to high in the morning. Midday also, your energy was high. Here, your energy was kind of medium and medium here. Sunday, high. In the afternoon, also kind of medium and medium, right? So this is basically how your energy for this week, the week of May 12th to May 18th, this was your energy pattern. This is how you're feeling throughout the day. This just shows you all of your energy patterns, right? This has logged everything for you. Now, if you see right here, from this log, it's going to tell you that your highest energy day is Wednesday. And then, of course, mornings is your best time for deep work. And Wednesday still is your best side hustle window. So this Wednesday is the day that you should work on your side hustle. This is the best time for you to work on your side hustle. And if you want to add 2 other days, which I do suggest you do, not more than 3 days, like within the week, Monday to Friday, no more than 3 days. If you can do just 2, that would be great. Then you can figure out what other days are good for you to work on your side hustle, where you can do a recurring side hustle block, right? You can pretty much schedule that time or block out that time on your calendar every single Wednesday or Wednesday, Thursday, or whatever to block out to work on your side hustle. So once you see this and you realize that in the evenings you always have low energy, depending on your schedule and your responsibilities, this is the only time that you have to dedicate towards your side hustle, then you know that probably you have just 2 days, which is Wednesday and then maybe Saturday mornings, right? So that helps you understand that these are the only 2 days that I actually have to dedicate towards my side hustle. I should not overplan. I should not overcommit. I should create or set more realistic goals based on my capacity. this here helps you understand your capacity better. So do this for a couple of weeks and you will start to see a pattern for you. Once you see that pattern, then you know how many days you should dedicate towards a side hustle within a week based on your real capacity and your real energy. And you're equally going to know when you should actually do certain kind of work, what time of the day you should dedicate towards deep work, what time of the day you should dedicate towards admin tasks and all of that great stuff, right? It will also help you theme your days better. So this really helps you have a realistic view of your energy patterns, and you will understand your capacity based on your real life and your real energy and your responsibilities. So once you do this, if you have kids, probably they're going to have high energy, but in the evenings you're just going to be depleted all the way because you spent all of your time with your kids. And it will even actually give you a realistic view of whether you should be focused on starting a side hustle at this time. And sometimes we just need to be realistic. Maybe now is not the best time. This is going to really help you figure that out. Maybe now is the time for you to really take it slow. You're in the foundation. So even just that one block a week for 2 hours is all that you can really give because of all the responsibilities in your life. That is perfectly okay. This data gives you visibility to what your real capacity is. So this is the Canva version of this planner. It's very easy, just plug and play. Everything is simple and you do not need to spend 30 minutes on this. 15 minutes tops, you're going to get a better understanding of your energy patterns and how effectively you're going to plan your week. Like I said, you're going to start with your day and then eventually you're going to be able to plan your weeks and your months and so on, right? Based on your energy, based on your real responsibilities, your real schedule, and your real capacity. So I do love the Canva version, but personally, I would always use a Notion because I want everything in one place. And that Notion is kind of like my one stop for everything. I am an agile practitioner. I love simplicity. I love everything in one place where I can always go back to Notion. That is my source of truth. I'll always go back to Notion to reference whatever I need to reference. So Notion is my preference, but the good news is you do have the Notion version and you do have the Canva version, and you can use either of them or you can use both. I don't know why you'll be using both, but whatever. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't grabbed your copy yet, go down to the description box below and grab your copy. Start using the planner, and I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Is this helpful or not? I would love to hear from you. Please leave a comment below. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.